Though countless have tried their best to retire it, the sound is still around. The sound of those great bands from yesteryear. Now, we'd like to introduce some of those appearing on this tape and responsible for recalling the sound. To mention the name Harry Blondes is to conjure up a wide range of memories of the great sounds this accomplished musician was responsible for. Widely acclaimed as a Dixieland jazz reed soloist and bandleader, Harry was respected by all as a gentleman of the first order. Margaret Cavitt received extensive training as a classical singer. Through the years, radio, television, stage, and bandstand appearances helped Margaret develop the skills and talent, enabling her to be equally at ease in pleasing audiences, whether her selections be from the classics, secular music, or hits from the big band era. Talented arranger and trombonist Harvey Heffron not only had his own band, but was in demand as a featured instrumentalist and soloist before joining the Cavitt organization as its musical director. Where original charts could not be found, Harvey listened intently to phonograph records, painstakingly committing to paper the notes of each of the instruments responsible for the hits so many throughout the world grew up listening, dancing, and romancing to. This video features some of Harvey's arrangements. Whether as a balladeer or a fun-loving, laugh-provoking singer of novelty songs, Ralph Black has spent a good deal of his life dispensing those good sounds many of us like to remember, both as a vocalist and as a fine trumpeter. It would be impossible to count the musical performances that have been so richly enhanced by the keyboard artistry of Ellis Bednarz. Through the years, many male keyboard players have expressed a note of envy regarding her talent, style, and skill. Another of the all-stars from the big band era was Jerry Mullaney. He was a featured trombone Dixieland soloist with the famed Red Nichols and Isom Jones orchestras in the 30s. We're pleased Jerry could join us for this musical presentation. Not only has Carol Farley gained an enviable reputation for her creative abilities with cloth, scissors, and needles, she has established a high level of popularity with her inimitable song stylings. Carol's vocal abilities are overshadowed only by her colorful dress. Over a half-century of broadcasting has been responsible for a bit of national and international notoriety. Having luckily been assigned announcer on regional and national big band broadcasts, I developed such a fondness for the big bands that I asked our drummer if he would be interested in forming our own big band. What to call it? Bob suggested that the band bear the Cavitt name, which for me has been a distinct honor. Recognized as the drummer and vibraphonist with the famed Mendota Buzzards, Eddie Toth was also a featured player with a host of other Minnesota groups, entertaining in lounges, cafes, before delighted fairgoers. Serious musicianship gave way to contagious laughter at the end of most of Toth's performances. The name Bob Benham is synonymous with musical excellence. He has been prominently associated with the ever-changing musical scene and has distinguished himself as percussionist with several Twin City bandleaders, including Al Garvin, Bob Farley, Dick Cast, Gene Iman, and Doc Evans' Harry Blondes, before starting the band with Don Cavitt more than a quarter of a century ago, during which time he served as drummer, singer, and the band's manager.
Die? Dead? Are you kidding? I'm a sound. can't kill a sound. You can't kill a sound any more than you can kill a spirit or a soul. Bodies? Well, there's something else. And I gotta tell you, this sound has killed a lot of bodies. I mean, I even started out as funeral music.
Just a closer walk with thee. Granted, Jesus is my plea. Daily walking close to thee. Oh, let it be, dear Lord, let it be.
Some of them died rich. Some of them died broke. A few are still kicking around. But rich, poor, alive or dead, I got my pound of flesh out of every one of them. Their silver hearse was called a band bus. Their spangled catafalque was a stage. Their mourners flocked to ceremonial one-night stands.
Refused to shine, oh, when that sun refused to shine, I wanna be in that number when that sun refused to shine.
even tonight, despite the lessons of the years, they take their seats on the bandstand, they shake out the cobwebs, and spit and curse and wheeze, and they begin to think only of the sound. Poor souls. As sound, I always get top billing. Here comes that sound again. The sophisticated romanticist gave us sound to sex. Music is my mistress, he'd say. He had a way of gazing dreamily into space, just like he was carrying on with her right there, and discovering a new dazzle in her that only he could find. Dixie had to become a prostitute of the avenue before she became a lady in most white men's eyes. They snatched her free spirit off the streets of the river towns. Then they distorted that spirit into a broad commercial sameness that was written and reproduced, seldom just felt and played. Funny that a band organized with nothing but commercial motives showed her off best for what she really was. Although Bob Crosby did a little more than sing a bit, smile a lot, and bear a famous name, his Bobcats knew Dixie from the streets where she really belonged. Bent and Blue Note, Barrel House, and Music of the Streets part. And sound now leaps in all its commercial glory from the silver screen. An almost endless river of euphoric songs flows from prolific songwriting pens as the country seeks escape from depression weariness. A good song, like a good book, never grows old. And being a dreamer certainly beats the cold reality of hustling a buck.
I'm a dreamer, aren't we all? Just a dreamer, aren't we all? In my dreams each night it
Dorsey may have been called the sentimental gentleman of swing, but in truth, he was not a well-liked man. At best, his brother only tolerated him. Most of his sidemen were given the opportunity to hate him and wish they could choke him to death. He saved them the trouble by doing just that one night in 1956. But the sound that came out of the bell of that man's trombone. No, the only popularity contest Tommy Dorsey ever won was at the box office. He wanted it that way, and he deserved it. A void. It is filled with the sounds we make, musical, pleasant, and otherwise. Tin Pan Alley is plastered with uncounted manuscripts, some containing sounds that didn't quite make it, and others, all the others were and remain tonight beautifully great. They're worthy of repeating.
Sweet Georgia Brown, 2 left feet, but also neat has Sweet Georgia Brown. They all sigh and wanna die for Sweet Georgia Brown. I'll tell you just why. You know I don't lie, not much. It's been said she knocks 'em dead when she lands in time. Since she came, why it's a shame how she cruising down. And fellas that she can't get out, the fellas that she ain't met. Judge named her Georgia, claimed her sweet Georgia Brown.
One talent weaved itself through the sounds of Dorsey, Miller, and others. It left its mark on some of their best recordings. Still, Bonnie Berrigan never lasted too long in one spot. He simply played too much without his great trumpet. And the only sound you get from a bottle is whiskey baritone. Maybe that's why his only commercial hit remained so popular. Like many others, it's the story of Bonnie Berrigan's life. Most big band success stories were keynoted by a simple credo: keep it commercial. Those who remembered that they were playing for the most part to untrained ears and not their own had a chance of making it. Serious musicianship aside, they sought a distinctive sound. If necessary, they'd gimmick it up to the sky. Hal Kemp and his boy vocalist lived off one song for years after they originally recorded it in 1934. They deserved to. They spent a decade's worth of tricky sounds on it.
Climbing up the ladder of love to find the one who waits for me. Got a date with an angel, got to meet her 7. Got a date with an angel, and I'm on my way to heaven. She's
so lovely beside me, and whatever betide me, got an angel to guide me, so on my way to heaven. Soon I'll hear the bells ring out, and the choir will sing out. When the pearly gates swing out, ah, she'll beckon to me. I've been waiting a lifetime for this evening at 7. Got a date with an angel, and I'm on my way to heaven.
As the search for sound gimmickry continued, Shep Fields and Lawrence Welk advanced, or degenerated if you look at it that way, into sound effects. Fields used a soda straw and a glass of water to produce his rippling rhythm signature. Meanwhile, Welk came up with a sound that will eventually make him a multimillionaire, or at least symbolize his effervescent and highly commercial champagne music. Except for the purists and those solidly entrenched in their own commercially successful niches, sound gave way to novelty. The party hats went on, and the musicians became low comedians, burlesquing their own talents, but why not? It was entertainment, and the money was better than good. For example, Kay Kaiser's College of Musical Knowledge band, complete with handsome boy and girl singers, resident comedians, a packaged quiz show, and a book comprised basically of syrupy ballads and nonsensical novelties. Remember Three Little Fishies? This band grossed more than a whopping $1 million in 1940. Not even Glenn Miller at his zenith managed to top that. Kay Kaiser was a master of the commercial sound, The title of his theme expressed his astute awareness perfectly.
Thinking of you.
Many accused Russ Morgan of being a put-on. Critics claimed he was far more talented than his wah-wah trombone signature showed. He could have cared less. That style, that gimmick, that concern for the commercial made him a fairly rich man and a very secure person. He, for one, made the sound work for him. called the commercial, gimmick, sweet bands, every name in the book. A particular target was and is Guy Lombardo. He's the subject of parody and ridicule. He is also a multimillionaire. Perhaps parody and ridicule are but masks for admiration and envy. Two breeds of cat in sound. The commercial breed was quiet, subdued, and domesticated. These house cats of music found homes for themselves in hotels and supper clubs, only occasionally venturing out for a road trip of any length. For the most part, they lived to a ripe old age. Was as masochistic as it was exciting. It was the driving, forever driving alley cat of the road band. This breed lived for the music and the music alone. Money was secondary. Travel came with the job. Family? What family? Like the nervous cat, they jumped. Lord, how they jumped. Goodman, Basie, Dorsey, James. Who jumped the highest, the longest, the best? Who cares? Just as long as they jumped and kept on jumping. Young man named Shaw. When he entered the hall, we all stood in awe. Artie Shaw was a studious young man who took his music seriously. Few musicians had his determination to succeed. While he pictured himself as a mediocre musician who forced himself through hours of practice to become proficient, his contemporaries rated him extremely talented. Talent, hard work, drive brought the Shaw Band to the top. Then the oblivion, which prompts people to ask, whatever happened to Artie Shaw? blue flame still burns brightly. Maybe because Woody Herman decided long ago to keep rekindling it with new serious jazz talent. The Herd is still a road band. That'll never change. But the Herd keeps getting younger, fresher, and better. As Woody Herman gets older, wiser, wearier. Woody will never leave the road. The road will leave him. Roads curve. But like Kenton, Woody's straight ahead. Did the sounds the commercial and purist ever meet? In a way, yes. And it happened like one might expect in compromise. Jimmy Dorsey's theme was called Contrasts. Not unlike Gene Krupa's Starburst, it was a mix of the sweet and the pungent. But the trick was to keep the ingredients defined like it wouldn't come out so much ketchup. For Dorsey, it happened to fall upon a boy singer and a girl singer to personify the difference. He the sweet, she the beat. Sweet, beat, real neat. A format was born, and fans ate it up. Bob Eberly and Helen O'Connell's duets, more like battles of styles broken apart by Dorsey's saxophone solos, were actually three versions of a song in one. Everybody, especially Dorsey, got his money's worth.
Across the Argentine,
Yet she has them all on the run, but her heart belongs to just one. Her heart belongs to Tangerine.
Tangerine, oh, she's all they say, with mascara eye and chapeau, my dasher. Tangerine, with her lips aflame, if the color keeps Louis Philippe's to blame, and I've seen those clothes on Tangerine with the latest things from Macy's mezzanine. Oh yes, she's got the guys in the world, but she's only fooling one girl.
Much to his chagrin, the cold, calculating, unfrappable perfectionist was called King of Swing. Fittingly, he was as aloof as royalty. His associates were few. Among the privileged, Fletcher Henderson and Mozart. Still, his royal subjects were legion. But he knew better than they that it wasn't the balding, unemotional introvert they cheered. He recognized his genius and worked incessantly to keep it worthy of everyone's respect, including his own. The monarch earned his title and keeps it even today, a retired, reluctant king of swing. Sounds. Blown, pounded, plucked. Microphonically picked up and transferred to tape and wax. Where do they come from? Sounds that endure start with an idea, a note that oftentimes becomes a thematic experience. Jerry Gray wrote String of Pearls while working for Glenn Miller. Naturally, Miller recorded the song, which became a perennial swing standard. Gray made a small fortune from Miller's recording. He never bothered to indicate that he much preferred Benny Goodman's freer, more spirited arrangement of String of Pearls. Silence has its place, even in a world of sound. Glenn Miller took off from Bedford, England, destined for Paris on December 15, 1944. The story of Miller's disappearance into the fog over the English Channel has been written and rewritten. We accepted the fact that he had become a war casualty. But Miller left us a legacy, the legacy of his music, and we're perhaps better off because of it. Most dance bands develop closing themes. The slow, often saccharine closing signature served two purposes. They closed out dances or broadcasts on somewhat of a romantic note. And more importantly, they added performance royalty dollars to the band leaders or arrangers who wrote them. Goodman had Goodbye. Eddie Howard sang So Long for Now. Russ Morgan gushed Good Night Little Angel or So Long or So Tired. Take your pick. For the dancers, they signaled the end of a glamorous experience and the beginning of a romantic memory. The band, it was the end of another job and the beginning of another long night on the Greyhound bus waiting outside. It beats working, the sideman would laugh. Maybe. Certainly the closing themes beat the old 5 o'clock whistle.
pleasant dreams. Think of us when requesting your themes. Until the next time when possibly you all may tune in again. Keep the old maestro always in your scheme. Yowza, yowza, yowza.
Au revoir, this is Don Cavitt, ladies and gentlemen, and all the lassies and lads. Wishing you a bit of pleasant dreams. May good luck and happiness, success, good health attend your scheme. And don't forget, should you ever send in your request, sir, why, we'll sure try to do our best, sir. Yowza. Au revoir, a fond cheerio, a bit of a tweet, God bless you, and...